Welcome to Mishna study Masachet Eruvin Perek Vav Mishnah here. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss business partners, right? Either they're already business partners or they buy something in partnership, right? So they're now partners in a certain item, as we'll see in this Mishnah, who share an alley. And I say share an alley, they share mavoy, right? Not that they're in a hatzer, we'll see why, but they're, as we mentioned, there's a shituf mevoot, right? The people that live on the same alley, they can make an eruv together. Right, they can make this eruv, which we call a shituf mevoot, where they're joining all of the courtyards to share in that alleyway, and then they could all carry in this alley. But now, instead of forming an eruv for this shituf mevoot, they're already business partners. They own a liquor store, right? So now they both have wine that they both own together. Is that enough? Is that enough, or do they need to go ahead and set a new eruv with something that they're purchasing special for the eruv, right? So that's our Mishnah. Ba'al habayit shaya shutaf l'shechanim, a homeowner that was a partner with his neighbors. Again, either a business partner or he bought a barrel of wine together in a partnership with his neighbor. Lazeh bayayin v'lazeh bayayin. Enam tzrichim eruv, right? So the guy on his right is he has a partnership with the guy on the right with wine. He also has a separate one with the guy on the left with wine. That's enough. They don't need to make another eruv, right? Now, in general, we know. Well, let's just continue. If he had with this guy, he has with wine, but the other guy on his right side, he has with oil, then tzrichim eruv, right? Then you need to make an eruv because it's two different items, so they can't combine. But if it's one item, right, the same type of item, then it's enough, and we're going to say it counts as one eruv. Rabbi Shimon omer, either way, even if with one is with wine and one is with oil, that's fine, and they don't need to make another eruv. It's enough as is. Now, when we point over here that there are shutaf l'shechanim, so the Mishnah chose the language of shutaf. They teach us that this is talking about a shituf mevoot, right, when they're joining together to make a to share an alleyway, not an eruv hatzirot. Why do I say not eruv hatzirot? And I'm stressing this because eruv hatzirot must be done with bread, as we saw earlier. Right? The only way to join a courtyard together, all the houses in the courtyard, it must be done with bread. Whereas in mavoy, an alleyway, you can join together with other food items, right? As we mentioned, and that's why this Mishnah would be enough, as we mentioned. And halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon. Rather, it needs to be the same type of food item. If there are partners in it, then that wouldn't count to be to combine everyone to share that alleyway space on Shabbat and carry in between. And just important to mention, when we have the shituf mevoot, if a person makes a shituf mevoot, right? They need to also make an eruv hatzirot and the shituf mevoot, and then they could go ahead and use the courtyard and the mavoy together, right? If they though make the shituf mavoy, the alleyway one, with bread, that would be enough to cover everything, right? And it would cover the alley and also the courtyards because he made the shituf mavoy with bread. It's just an interesting halacha that Rambam brings down over here, and as we mentioned, halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon.